Welcome back. You're listening to the Mara Mukonda Show on Solar Media, and it is 12:38 on this lovely Wednesday, the 1st of July, 2020. Joining me right now on the line is the Artistic Director of the Sibikwa Arts Centre NGO, Phyllis Klotz, to talk more about the centre. Good day, Phyllis. Thank you for joining me.
Hi, thanks for inviting me. I look forward to this program.
It's a pleasure. Okay, start off by telling us what the Sibikwa Arts Centre is all about.
Okay, so Sibikwa was established 32 years ago by Small Ndaba and myself. And it was, of course, during the days of apartheid, and we wanted to establish a center for young people where they could come during these very troubled times and during all that civil strife. And we wanted a safe place for children and young people. And that's how we got started. Our focus has always been the performing arts. And so we use the performing arts as a development tool, a personal development tool, and also a community development tool. And we run many programs, a lot of them educational, professional with professional actors. Currently, we are a service provider with CAFCETA. So when we offer a course in drama and dance, it's nationally recognized qualifications. We also have informal, what we call informal education programs. Like on a Saturday, we have 158 children come here at school. It's specifically for school-going kids. And they do drama, dance, music, visual arts, reading. We're very big on reading because of our education system is failing miserably in teaching children to read and appreciating the written word. So in a nutshell, that's some of the things we do. The list is endless. But of course, now with COVID, we've had to shift a lot of things.
Yeah, tell us about the challenges that you faced with the pandemic.
So let's go back to the Saturday Arts Academy. That's the one I was talking about. Most of our children come from the lower socioeconomic group. And so, of course, there goes the great technological divide. Because we realized, I mean, the first month of COVID, we kind of were bashed. We didn't know what we were going to do or how we were going to reach these young people, what's going to happen. And then we got ourselves together. And in April, we started setting tasks for the young people in each discipline. Look, some of the children don't have access to smartphones, but we were so kind of overwhelmed that what the children did and the young people did, they found people in their neighborhood or their families who had smartphones, and they would access the tasks, go to their houses or if the family a neighbor or something, and access that task and perform it. So every day, each child in the different groups, because the age group is from 6 to 24, would be set a task in either dance or drama or music. And the reading we didn't do. Well, the senior students did do a bit of reading. And then they would send the task back on WhatsApp. And then the whole family became part of, which is really what we want, because we have a lot of community days here. We very engaged with bringing parents and children and families together. We believe the arts is a wonderful vehicle to do this. So the whole family kind of went on standby, and our project manager would get an SMS from parents saying, hey, it's 9:20 and we're standing by. The task is coming out at past. So we just want to tell you that we're waiting for you. It was really rewarding and surprising, very surprising.
Wow, at least the entire families got involved in this, and performing arts is such a beautiful way of telling a story. I mean, people who wishes to tell a story can either sing, can dance to it, or they can draw out their story, and that's what is beautiful about arts. And now, in terms of the center is an NGO. So how does the center thrive being an NGO? Where does the center get sponsorships, and how has it been now during this COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, to have run an NGO for 32 years, it's like you rock and you roll, and there's feast and there's famine. Government has become quite a big sponsor of ours because of the training, the nationally recognized training. And also we've been designated as a center of excellence. So we've been supported to build capacity in other arts organizations. So we receive quite a bit of funding from the Department of Sports now, Arts and Culture. We receive funding from Total, South Africa, the petrol company. We receive funding from Rand Merchant Bank. We've got a host of funders that support us. SAMRO, the music organization. We need a lot of funders to support, because it's a big organization. We run many programs, and we have a lot of people come. I mean, on our big community days, we've had to split, for instance, our children's June 16 concerts into 3 sessions, because our theatre of 200 people can't accommodate everybody. So we have a lot of people coming here when there's no COVID.
Now, speaking about that, I mean, schools have reopened, and now in the month of July, we will be seeing a lot more kids going back to school. So is the center going to open up as well to accept students on Saturdays and other days?
Yes, we are following the Department of Basic Education's regulations about opening. And also we're following the Department of Health's regulations strictly. For instance, before we opened for the young people to come, we had the whole place fogged. You can't come into the Sibikwa campus unless you're a learner here. We don't allow parents or anybody to come in to the campus. Obviously, there's temperature taking, there's continual sanitization. Our issue now is that 158 people, learners on a Saturday, for instance, is too much. We can't. At the moment, it's only grade 7 and grade 12, and that's 35. And that's manageable, and they're kept separate, and it's fine. And the young children themselves are amazingly disciplined. They understand the situation. So, but once, for instance, I think it's on the 8th of July, the grade 1, 2, and 3s come back. And then the other classes start coming back. We're going to have to split the school. So the juniors will come on a Saturday, because most of the juniors are brought by their parents or an older brother or sister or something like that. And they're used to coming on a Saturday. So they'll come on a Saturday. But the older children who can travel alone and are more independent, they will have to start coming on a Sunday, because we can't have those intense numbers. So it's very, very difficult.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned earlier that you offer national certificates in performing arts. So who are some of the notable or well-known alumni from the Arts Centre?
Oh, there are a few young directors that are making their name, like Matlatsi Mokonyana. There's a young arts administrator called Rudy. Oh, sorry, his surname just escapes me now, but he's a young producer. There are other young performers that have come out of Sibikwa that have gone on to university, institutions, like Bongi Ngidi. She's starting to make a name for herself. And then we've got, because we've been going so long, we've got people like Temba Ndaba, who's actually started here in the late 80s, early 90s. Grace Mahlaba, I don't know if you remember her from one of those TV series. So there's a whole spread of people that have been at Sibikwa. And for us, For us, it's not so much about being famous in the arts world because it's a very small pool and very few people make it. For us, our focus is on young people from the lower socioeconomic group. If we can get them out of that cycle of poverty, if we can give them the skills to get a job and become financially independent, then that for us is a great victory.
Mm. And there's a lot of misconception that arts, is it doesn't pay very well. People don't want to get into the arts, especially song and dance and uh, visual arts. People don't want to get into that so much because of it, being a low income job. So, what advice would you give to people who are interested in arts, but yet they feel defeated because of such advice that they get from family and friends?
Well, it is a great. I mean, my own granddaughter decided that she wanted to become an actress, and my heart sunk, not because of the
Mm,
money, but because of the tenaciousness that you need and the thick skin. You need to be like a rhinoceros, and it's very,
mhm,
very hard. So, unless you're really dedicated and it's really a fire that burns inside you, don't attempt it because it's not worth it. You're only going to be hurt and it's not going to work for you. And the family pressure is another thing. A lot of young people I know, the parents have said to them, all right, become a lawyer or do a BCom or do something. And then if you still want to do the arts, do the arts. At least you've got something to fall back on because
mm,
it's very unpredictable, very
mm,
unpredictable. But if you have the burning passion like I've had for, I don't want to say how many years, but you can guess by looking at the gray hair. I mean, I just could not imagine my life doing anything else.
mhm. Wow. Thank you so much for your time, Phyllis, and I wish you well in your future
Thanks very
endeavors as
much.
well as the
Yeah.
Sibikwa Arts Centre.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
And that was Phyllis Klotz, the artistic director at the Sibikwa Arts Centre, which is an NGO based in Benoni. And they offer visual arts, they offer dancing, acting, anything that has to do with the performing arts to children from disadvantaged or impoverished backgrounds. And they will be opening, or they have opened their doors for the grade 12s and 7s, and will be allowing or taking more students as the schools reopen as well, but with strict restrictions there. To stay with us, we'll be back after the break.